Hey guys, so I've been still learning a lot. I got myself up to 42 OS. Yes, we're climbing. Um, but what have I learned this week that's been essential? I don't know what the word is, but uh, this is a match I played against IYC just a few
Game started.
minutes ago. He streams on Twitch as well. Um, it was kind of funny. I was thinking like, okay, this match I won, but he won the next one, and the next one is Forest and Flats, and I was thinking, this guy plays nothing but Forest and Flats the way he's playing this match. And like, who am I? Who am I to say that when I play nothing but Comet Catcher? Anyway, this is Comet Catcher, so I still have a big beef with the balance of the vehicle factory in general. I just think that the disparity between the bot factory and the vehicle factory is kind of nuts because everything is just build power and energy cheaper in the vehicle factory. But I mean, I've kind of let up on that because I was trying to make like blitz spam work, and I'm not a core player. The I mean, I'm not an arm player. Uh, dude, the last video I was misspeaking the same exact sentence. So core is all about kiting and utilizing the max range of your units. That's my playstyle. Arm seems to be a lot more, at least the early game, just being really proactive. But it's very little micro to attack. It's a lot of micro to defend, and I'm more of a defensive player, so I guess this is where my thoughts are at right now. Um, I have not tried bots yet on Comet Catcher again recently, but basically, this is the build order as it usually goes. You just get to walk your comm a whole lot because vehicles are cheap on build power. They basically build themselves. um, this isn't the most optimized build order. Usually, you do this thing. You plop down the two max, a solar, an LLT, and I've also learned that like for the longest time I was free solar before your vehicle factory hater, but apparently it works. So I might be doing that more often. It's just a like one of those min maxy things. So the next thing is like, okay, you open with, okay, I'm trying what I, okay, you are being aggressive, right? But there's two downsides to being aggressive. You go over there and you lose all your units, and then another is that they either get rezzed or reclaimed, and usually they get a amazing trade on you. So, um, I with Blitz, I've gotten in the habit of just like sending all my stuff in to die, and that doesn't really work. So what you want to do is basically um build as many cons as you can get away with and just send them out. And a lot of the times making LLT is not that great, which I don't like, but I do make LLT. Um, Forest and Flats was the one. The guys, he said basically just don't make any LLT, and I started not doing that. But I was practicing against other opponents after that, so maybe we'll go over 2 games instead of 3. But this is kind of how it goes. I'm gonna send my rovers or my rascals out and just scout, I guess. And if I don't think I'm gonna get any damage, I'm going to send them back. I'm just gonna poke around and try to like figure out, is he greeding? Is he making a lot of cons or not? Can I greed? And you see here, well, another thing I was having trouble with was that I was indeed doing a lot of com walks, but I was doing it before I had a con assisting my factory. I think it's essential to have at least one assisting the factory or available to go back and assist the factory, especially on these relatively definitely low win maps with like your spawn doesn't start with hello metal. I'm thinking of in terms of forests and flats, and now I've got like poop brain because of it. So one thing I'm gonna be taking advantage of is that he's gonna send these grunts out, and they're just gonna die. Basically, they're just slower than incisors. I'm gonna have a ton of time to react to them, and I have a few LLT sitting around, so I'm gonna be able to pick these off. And as a bot player, he's already gonna be struggling to keep up with production. So I'm still trying, like, people do make bots work, but I'm trying to like think of how you need to make it work. I think it's just in the beginning, you just gotta sneak in as many cons as you possibly can. Is the general gist of it. I'll be able to respond to this, and most of the time, if I'm paying attention, I'll get the max range, so it'll be a very one-sided trade. So we're about even on metal right now. When my comm gets to a certain spot, if I'm having trouble spending my metal, it'll be making solar, and then I'll make a forward factory here. A good choke point is like here and here for LLT, I guess. And I'm mostly playing defensively, and radars are going to be the thing that makes defensive play so extremely powerful. Part of the reason why it's so powerful, I guess. I don't know. You want to fight underneath your radar, so you're making informed decisions, I guess. But also, you just want the radar as far forward as you can so that you can get your stuff in position as soon as you can. I think with bots you have to play more defensively until you know that you can move out. This is like all of my arm, like, okay, so he's got a lot more over here to be assisting his factory. Not all of it is, but here the problem with bots is you have to make all this extra solar or all this extra energy and all this extra build power, and I'm just chilling over here. Like, look at I think it's economic value. I guess we're about the same, which I guess isn't the surprising part. The surprising part is the army value is gonna it's gonna be like this. The bot player is almost always gonna be behind, and the meta is like, because the vehicle factory is just so stupidly more efficient than the bot factory. Even if you do start bots, most of the time you're gonna want to switch over to vehicles. But grunts are amazing, and it also, they're particularly good on maps that you can get energy reclaim, because the energy being the limiting factor isn't nearly as much. I think some things that he could have done is he only has, 2 expanding cons out, so I'm adding in vehicle cons whenever I possibly can, whenever I feel like he can't, or if it's safe, I'm going to be adding them in. And this is where you get confused, like, how does he have so much stuff? It's probably because the other guy snuck in more cons. So I'm not sure if I had much more to say about this. You can zoom through it. From here it just plays out. I'll avoid the shredders, and a lot of the times if I feel like I can't defend something in time, I will just go attack instead and rally my factory to defend. And this is the problem with not making LOTs. One unit can go in and kill all of your mechs if the guy's meticulous enough. Really annoying. But you can res, and you must replace your cons and retake the mechs. And really, this stuff applies to every game mode, not just 1v1 is 1v1 is its own thing. It has nothing to do with aviates and all that. It's the same game. It's the same game. So you might imagine this being a little different. If I didn't make many cons, then I wouldn't have retaken these mechs so quickly. And basically, I have so many cons. I'm grabbing every mechs that I can as fast as I can. And thugs, it's unfortunate, but thugs just, everything from the bot factory is countered by Pounders and Janus, but Janus aren't nearly as they're a lot more micro intensive, I guess. Pounders are, you do tend to want to kite with them, but they do splash damage. If these the thug equivalent for Legion, even Pounders just shred through everything. And I guess I've been calling them shredders because they are shredders, but they're actually called Pounders. I think shredders are an anti-air unit. But yeah, also thugs are really slow. They do trade incredibly well against brutes. That is true. But Pounders do splash damage. And once that's a thing.
Battle ended.
There we go. They said they need to do something about medium tanks, but the real issue is that they need to do something about the entire vehicle factory. It's just silly. Now this map has so he said he copied this build from Domino. I don't know very many player names, so I don't actually know who that is.
Started.
He's gonna do one thing I learned from this is that he made 3 solars before the vehicle factory, and then I was like, don't you access a whole lot? No, he accessed just 15 energy. And I also noticed this spot. I've been taking this spot now to grab. It's more centralized, I guess, and you can expand backwards and forwards. It's a huge map. So I was actually curious, how many cons does he start with expanding? 3. And then from there, it's just tons and tons of rascals. And I just fell behind on energy really bad here. So, of course, like, I thought I was doing great because I had so many cons expanding, but I guess that's a no-no because you're slowing down to grab the maxes. And I couldn't tell you the exact timing of this, but he did manage to assist the factory much more than me, and I couldn't tell you exactly what the hell I did wrong off the top of my head. There was a lot of things I learned from this. I needed to modify my build. Like, he's got the aggression on me, so I'm gonna be like defending and like chasing him around, and it's gonna feel like shit. So, ooh, I said a bad word. If you're on the defensive, you're probably losing. Like, if you need any, if you ever are wondering like how do players have like this magical game sense of that they're losing, it's because they don't control half of the map and they're being attacked and it's never ending and you can never get ahead, and that's because you're behind a metal and everything else, or you're behind in some combination of metal, energy, and build power. I found the bigger the map, this is actually really fun map to learn to macro, because you're just like, I was just struggling to spend all of my metal. I'm just like looking at this and like, how does he spend everything? Also, I was making solar and I was like, should I make the solar? Is that the right idea? But then I get bombed and it's like, I have no idea what happened. There's literally just like no possible feedback for me to like know like what did I do wrong without looking at the replay. So always look at the replay.
Battle ended.
And then here's one. I did 3 matches after this. This is the 3rd. This guy was being aggressive, which was good, but like I got to sneak in. I don't know. It's just like, it's really difficult to wrap your head around.
Game started.
Spending your eco in this game with like these high numbers. So in a big map like this, you can open with like 3, 4 cons and just not even care that you're losing mechs behind it. Like, see, he's attacking me and I'm losing mechs, but I have more expanding cons than him, and I can just shrug off the damage. And then sneaking in con turrets. The other thing he did was get 2 vehicle factories. I'll stay on Rover as long as I can, and then switch to Incisor. Make sure that all my constructors are on high priority, and then I'll add in more constructors. And on these bigger maps, it's essential to have aircons. And just I try to send them out to more remote places where my vehicle cons aren't going to get to first. You see how this is. Like, at this point he's in battle mode, and he has to put everything into his into units and the staying alive. And it was really just a matter of like spending the metal. And it's really tough when you have this much metal. So it was kind of like, okay, like obviously I'm pretty much won at this point, but this map is a great exercise in just like trying to figure out how to spend your metal and macro, like a truly immense scale, I guess. Like a lot of maps are just I don't think the maps in this game are big enough. You don't get to do all this fun crazy stuff. And I like switched to Rascals like to do cleanup, and like I needed something to get to these brutes that were ruining my day. But it's okay. I just keep replacing the cons. Find whatever the best con is for the situation and build it. And take the mechs. The Alpha Cup just happened, which was like a 1v1 tournament. I wasn't planning on participating in it. I didn't participate in it because I didn't think I had any hope of winning. I just rather just practice
Commander
and
died. Battle
have
ended.
a normal day. I would like to start casting matches. I was thinking about that, but I'm not the type of personality where I like to do things to be entertaining. What do you do when someone goes air first? On Isidis Crack. This one guy did air first on Devil's Post Piles, and I was kind of convinced that it's the only way to go.
Game started.
I think this is, yeah, he's gonna go air first. Okay, if you do air cons, like, you still have to, you can't just like not take mechs, but I noticed that he was not expanding, at least not around his base. So that was a big one. I'm always confused like why someone like opens with an air factory and then immediately eats it. But you just kind of, this is why you always send the units out. Try not to get them killed. Like if you know that they're gonna get killed, you send them back, but you have to like get the information, whatever information you can. You can't just like let the person be over there and do whatever they want. I noticed that he was doing a Centurion drop, so I was just like, okay, I'll just make thugs and some guard tower or laser turrets in my base. And also, Centurions just aren't nearly as oppressive as they used to be. This isn't really a build anymore. I want to click the right one. I want someone else. It was like 2 or 3 games in a row. One, they got me good with a bombing run, which I think is like the best way to go about it. I was very confused. Like, why are these people doing bombing runs or going air first, but not making air cons? Like, you have it right there. You might as well.
Game started.
There's at least there's at least 6 mechs on this map that I will not be able to get to. Okay, I clicked on the same match. I cannot tell which is which. Okay, we did this is the first one. I'm just gonna go down the list. I'm struggling here. I'm sorry. Did 2 matches against this guy. I can't tell which is which. I'm just like, this is silly. Come on. You just do your standard thing. Open with a bunch of cons. As many as you can without like, oh my god, he's gonna kill me. Or without, you make as many cons as you can defend, I guess. Is what I'm saying. Okay, this was a normal match. I apologized to him at the end of this game because Incisors light tanks are stupidly good. I don't have much to say about this one. One thing that I've been doing is sending, like, it's really hard to get, like, spend all your metals, so you need to make more cons to make more wind or whatever energy. That's been helping me a lot. And I like to do it in like 3x3 things.
Battle.
Incisors are really good. Maybe it was against this one against Soul Eater. Because I got bombed, and I want to show you what I think is basically the best response that I've come up with. Dude, I wish I knew how to skip this.
Game started.
I do like the starting position in the back. He doesn't send the scout out until he's ready to bomb. And this is why people will space out their wins like in like a really chaotic way when they open up, so that the smallest amount of wind possible will get bombed. Now, I didn't send my grunts out to go check, so I have no idea what's happening until I'm getting bombed. Like, my immediate response would be to make anti-air of some sort. I don't know if it's better to make this Trasher or the... Looks like the Thistle is better. And don't make the unit... okay, so... And then this is where you're, like, stalling on energy. So this is, like, rough. I have, like, almost no E left. I'm trying to assist out this thing. 1100 energy. Thistle is 850 energy, so definitely go for the Thistle. It's probably less build power too. 1900 for the Walker. It's actually more build power for the turret, but I mean, when you're getting bombed and you have no energy, I'm just like disappointed because what are you gonna do with this? Air cons are pretty energy expensive, but I just don't see why you wouldn't just sneak one out. It's gonna be it's just a huge investment to get into air energy wise. So when you recognize that this is happening, like, still, he bombed me and I have no energy, which sucks, but I still have these 3 cons. He didn't... That's another thing. When you go bombing people, like, why don't you just go start bombing everything else, like, once you go through the base? Because now I have to, like, chase you around. But here's how I respond. Just not quickly enough. All of these cons can make wind. So he's going to be feeling really good about this. But eventually I realized, oh, I cannot spend all this energy. I mean, I can't spend all this metal. And bam. And also, I'll make energy and then a turret to defend them. And then it's smooth sailing from here. He's gonna make shredders because he knows I got these light units, and then I'm gonna switch to tanks because that's literally what you do every single game
Battle
without fail.
ended.
And yeah. I don't like I lose a lot of games. It looks like I won that one. Like, some of these were a real struggle. If there was one against Baldric, I think. Yeah, I've been playing lots of 1v1s, and one huge takeaway is to not fall behind on energy or production. You've got to make extra cons just to make wind. So this will be like a massive back and forth, of course. And this is, I'm getting back into my bot
Game
era.
started.
Get the reclaim. Send the cons out. He prefers to send his comm out, which looks like it puts me behind. And not terribly behind on army value. Preferably I want these, I should go scout, and when I encounter his units I send them back and then look for favorable engagements. Try not to make dumb mistakes. Don't let any grunts get in. This is where the comm lock shows its weakness, is that he's really far behind on army value. Also, he was being aggressive and lost a bunch of units. But I think if you're playing bots, you want to go for the res to assist your factory. So this is looking quite good. I think he likes to. This is the guy that likes to go T2 pretty early. Not replacing. I think I may not be replacing my cons fast enough, or this con may be idle, so we don't want that. I feel like I shouldn't be this falling behind, but I am. But often it's like, okay, I'm rezzing. That's good. I'm trying to get around, but I end up getting my stuff. D-gun. Shredders are really, pounders are really good. Huh? Okay, so this looks like it's really favoring me, but I'm not sure why this goes on for another 15 minutes. He goes air to keep himself alive. And I sent my cons out to continue taking all the mechs. I see. So I'm behind on energy. I don't have enough stuff building energy. I'm behind on energy. So now this happens. So I have to like start over retaking all this stuff, and then he plows through me. Either he's rezzing or reclaiming. That the big struggle is just like sending my metal or spending my metal. So yeah, don't fall behind on E, because then the game resets. Or worse. I want to try to make sure that I'm continuing to res or reclaim. Prioritize resing the metal extractors. Take the most favorable engagements. Make sure I am reclaiming when it is. Like, if I'm bottom out on metal, I'm going to reclaim instead of res. Or if I'm not certain that I'm going to have full control over the rec field, but like this has got to be game, right? Okay, now we're about even on metal, but I have a ton of these res bots. Oh, I recommend using grid for your hotkeys, because honestly I have no I don't use legacy. I think why should not really recommending, but for the hotkeys to make sense that I use, I've been using set target. If you hit S, you can also use it on the attack round, and then you can go in the options and have like the default attack. It's like default attack something or other. Set target as default. Replace default attack command to a set target command when right clicked on the enemy unit. Okay, so it doesn't work with the attack command. It only works when you right click the unit, which means that it doesn't apply to very important stuff like attack ground or using area attack. If you hold S, that is set target, or figure out what your equivalent is. Set target will basically, whenever that unit is in range or that spot is in range, it will attack that spot or enemy, which allows you to concentrate fire on a single unit. That has been... It's overpowered. It's just like the game micros for you. It's great. So we're gonna eat, and I played a lot of matches yesterday where people went T2, and T2 is just not that great against spam, and basically everyone needs spam. I think T2 is a luxury, and if you can fit it in there, it's great. Fiends are actually amazing. They tear through medium tanks, but they might not do well against shredders. I'm not sure. Or pounders. Pounders have knockback, keeps them away, and you can still kite fiends, but they're quick. I like fiends. I used to hate fiends. I like fiends now more. I think sumos are better for usually, but T2 is just a luxury thing where if you're already winning, you might as well. The only way any 1v1 match ever goes to T2 is usually when both players decide to go T2 at the same time.
Commander has fallen.
If only one player goes T2, that player is probably lost or just extended the game when they were winning. There was one match is just like actually I played ARM on accident for one, and bulls are actually pretty good. The guy rushed T2, and I'll tell you what, like, fusions are great. If you want to just, like, if you can sneak in T2 and get that con and start building a fusion instead of, like, microing this nonsense, trying to get solars and all this other stuff, sometimes it's difficult. Like,
Game started.
I like fusions. Almost lost that res bot. I'm not sure if this is the match. This is the match. I was very confused because it was like, oh, I'm winning, I'm twice ahead. I have so much energy. And then this happens. Good lord. Maybe this isn't the match. He even built like Devil's Claw up there. This is like fighting over this for the longest time. And then he went T2. I guess. This would be the point where I want to start making grunts to overwhelm the tigers. Eventually I get my own T2 up and upgrade my max. But what's keeping me a few of the things that keep me in the game is just the spam. I've lost too much. It's insane that he did this thing on the ridge. I didn't like it. I was very like... And then... that attack didn't do anything because he's got a bunch of twin guard. Zars are great versus T1. So at that point I'm like, okay. No more of that. I get bulls. And bulls end up trading quite well with tigers. It's like, I definitely have all of this max, so I'm able to just like power through and spam the T2. Plus I'm like, now I'm sending aircons to take his max and stuff like that. I build a factory back there. It's like, if someone goes fast T2,
Battle ended.
it's not that scary. It takes a while for the mechs to start paying, or the T2 mechs to start paying for themselves. It's better to just have T1. We'll do one more. I like Eternal Consequences. I think this will be pretty standard fare. But the game ended really fast, so I think what ended up happening was I was being
Game started.
really good about... Oh, this guy was annoying me. Never mind. Let's just do it. This is why you don't walk your comm on a map with res. Or with energy. Yeah, he didn't have any units, so that just kind of happened. Never mind. Oh, let's do a fun one. T4 lava. How do you win T4 lava? Well, take one of the spots with a Geo. GOC preferably, but if you just take the regular Geo, that's fine. Because who wants to do all that extra micromanaging? Remember that there's T4 mechs and giant con turrets on this, so take advantage of if you have a starting stock of metal, plop down as much wind as you can, all of the mexes and a factory. Take the Geo, get to T2 as fast as you can, then upgrade your mechs, reclaim factories and BP that you don't need, blow your comm, get the T2 out, upgrade the mexes, eat the factory whenever you don't have the BP to eat through your metal, build more BP. then get the T2, or do the T3 mexes. Stay on fusions as long as you can until you can quickly build the Aphis. The Epicon turrets are really good. The build power may even be boosted on this map, I don't know, or on this game mode. I'm gonna get this Epic Geo up as fast as I can. I'll use advanced converters for a long time. The T3 energy buildings aren't that. I mean, they're kind of slow in the to be building in the beginning. I think they're a little more efficient, but they cost way more build power. It's not really worth it to go straight for them. So my game plan is just be spending all that metal as well as I can. And this is probably going too deep into it. Like, I probably already should be spamming units. But yep, we're just gonna do this. When I feel comfortable, like I'm trying to min-max or whatever, I should have my slider all the way back down, but it took me a while to realize it because I don't want to float. It takes a lot of energy to build these converters too. I don't play this too often anymore because it's like really easy to just win. Because people don't make units. They just want to eco. I think you can get things done a lot faster than I have. Yeah, I don't know, like when is the perfect time? I was thinking about when I want to make the epic Aphis. That's probably around the time when I have enough Aphis to eat to build. Oh, it's a legendary fusion reactor, and it takes like no build power to build. It just takes a ton of metal. It's probably like something really silly low. 120,000 build power, which is less than a single Aphis. Yeah, I'm gonna eat these fusions and then dump it all into this. Cause it's 50x of Aphis, transportable, unique, very hazardous. And I had to ask the air player multiple times, please patrol your air in front of the eco so we don't get bombed. So he then patrols the air on top of the ecos. And I'm like, what don't you understand? How can I help you understand what the difference is between behind, on top of, and in front of? But yep, I'm just eating these Aphis and then plugging it back into this. And then I'll make whatever conversion I need. And then this is when we just make juggernauts or whatever your faction equivalent is. Oh no, plasma, LRPC, oh no, what am I gonna do? We just chillin'. It looks like I didn't notice, like it takes so much energy to build the converters that I didn't notice that I was floating 50k. So eventually I noticed. It's okay. I'll have made more than enough, and I'm the only person making units right now, so. Metal produced. I'm pretty far ahead of anyone else. This position has the most access to resources. Should be ahead, but is not. We want to bring that slider back and then I don't want to share my float with other people. I want to convert my float. Because this is a meme map. And then, oh no. Who in the world could have conceived that anyone would have made units? One guy got mad because he's like, nobody should make a big pulsar. What the? Excuse me. I wish I could make it go faster, but I can't. The era is on top of the eco, not the front. Please, guys, help me here. I don't know how to help him understand. I might have changed my mind about sending these over here. That is a trident. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't looking too good for a moment. But juggernauts explode. Nice. They're blowing up the LRPC. Also need to be worried about commanders and getting degunned. There's not a whole lot I can do about that other than have spam lighter T3, I guess, but I don't know if they can make it across the lake. Like, oh no, you blew one up! And then the explosion blows up some of his eco. Womp womp. Oh no, I'm gonna get degunned. Womp womp. And then the air actually covered me, which is amazing. I think that explosion blew up this epic atomic bomber, whatever. Yeah, that's great. So you'd think people would start making units now, but we're making liches. I guess that's okay. But liches are actually terrible. All they need is to get shot down by much less metal. But of course, if there is nothing shooting them down, so I'm gonna try to attack the explosive buildings. I can ignore his juggernaut. Just blow up the explodey things. I should keep these moving. Does this thing actually ever land anything? I'm very confused because he kept sending these, but they kept not actually. There you go. Dang. I want to say the Lich blew all that stuff up. Like when it landed, it might have exploded, and here we go, we're in range. When you have that much BP, you can just reclaim juggernauts. It's funny. Oh, we're not doing that. There we go. One more. God forbid you make units. I'm doing GOC's job. Indeed, this is GOC's job. I mean, it's kind of everyone's job, but the GOC should be the first one to activate with the most because you'll have access to the most resources. Metal produced. Very, very far ahead of almost everyone else except for a player that likely did nothing, contributed absolutely nothing. That's actually a cool idea. I think you can only make one legendary fusion. So if he shares it to another person, I don't know if that lets you cheat the max or not, but that's cool, I guess. I think once you like the legendary fusion is where you should just chill out and start making units. And then since we're here, see if anyone said anything interesting. Just checking to see if there was any specs saying anything interesting. Nope, nobody's talking about me. I played that in the middle of the night. I'm like, man, I don't really want to think. I just want to go to bed, but I want to play bar, so I'll just play this meme map. That's it for me. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.